Alrighty guys, so I figured I'd do a startup here, show you guys, hope maybe it'll do it, maybe it won't, of what it was doing before, but and of course this is always two-handed, so I'm just going to set you down somewhere and hopefully the exhaust comes out that side. I don't know where. There's no good way of doing this. I don't know. I guess I gotta hold the choke, so I guess you'll be right here. I don't know if it'll fire up without. Yeah, I'm not going to run it long because I believe there is gas in the oil. So, and I got oil to do an oil change. See, it's been a couple years. 8/17 of 19. I guess that was just before my, almost about a month before Grandpa passed, but yeah, she's a little on, it must be aerated, looks a little milky. There's no way it could be milky, it's not water cooled. But from what I can tell, I think there's a smidge of oil in the gas, probably not too bad, but it's been a minute. I got a new fuel filter. It's probably not, it's not the same style, I know that. But what I'm gonna do, because here's our fuel pump, is I'm gonna put an inline fuel shutoff just after the filter. Let's see here if we can show you what we got. I don't know where else. Just kind of bagged this kind of weird. So. But I got two different sizes. I didn't know which one I was going to need, so I got the 5/16, which that's the style I guess I was kind of going for-ish. And then they got a 90-degree one, but 1/4 inch. So then, of course, I got ripped off. I was very surprised. Normally, I think Fleet Farm's a little higher priced on stuff, but I was very surprised. They competitive. They are very competitive with O'Reilly's. I mean, I paid over $9 a quart. Almost $10 a quart for oil. This was like $12.99 or something like that for the stabilizer. And Fleet Farm had AMS oil 1030 synthetic, and it was under $8 or a little under $9 for AMS oil. Not Mobil 1, AMS oil. I didn't look at Mobil 1, but I should have. But I saw this, and it was $9, under $10. I was like, holy shit, I just overpaid for everything. And yes, I could go return it and whatever, but I already got it. And I just feel awkward about that. And I guess it's not the end of the world, but it's definitely not cool to be. I know you don't buy oil at O'Reilly's. Well, you can get it at Walmart, get it at Walmart because it's usually a bit cheaper. But I think as of late, Walmart's been almost just as expensive. So. And anyway, so we got ourselves some 1040. That supposedly is something you can run in these. Normally, I've only done one oil change on this before, but I also got, I know y'all are probably going to hate me for this, And normally I would have probably gotten the Kawasaki or John Deere kit for an oil change, but hopefully this filter works. It's a little on the small side. It's a dinky little guy. It's a little bit shorter than the other one, but hopefully it's about the same overall. This probably isn't going to be in here very long. She gets a little bit of a tapping noise when it's fully warmed up, and I don't know if it's an exhaust gasket, because I've had the exhaust off this twice and I never did get new gaskets for it. But I'm excited because I get to use my new Forma funnel, so that'll be nice. We don't make an absolute freaking mess. I hate why engineers can't make something that comes out. It's got to be set in 10 feet, you know. So it makes an absolute freaking disastrous mess. Of course, you got this side, which is a little bit better, but still it runs down. It's probably why this freaking John Deere sticker is rubbing off. But, so yeah, I haven't tendered the battery all winter, so I was curious how that was going to do. And it is, when you're doing that frickin' leaf vac, my gosh, is that ever dusty. So at some point here in the next little bit, I'll probably pick up an air filter for it, because oh yeah, she's a little on the dirty side. So it'll need an air filter, but we're not gonna mow the yard today. It's just I'm getting it ready. I just need to get the oil change done and put a fuel shut off, so every time I'm done using it, it won't hopefully overflow the carb. I'll probably shut it off and let it maybe run out of fuel. I don't know, just so we don't have any gas in the oil anymore, because that is not good. And I think that's probably what caused the ticking noise, is running it for a smidge too long with the gas in the oil. So it's not the first time, won't be the last time. And from some of the stuff I've seen online, getting these Kawasaki's to quit putting gas in the oil is quite hard. They've tried new carbs and that doesn't work, and I don't know. I'm not gonna fiddle fart with it too much unless there's a definitive fix for it. So I know, what is it, his name, Musty on YouTube, he had a John Deere tractor or lawn tractor that was doing the same thing, and he thought it was the fuel pump. He cleaned the carbs. I think he got a new carb, and I don't know if that one did it or not. I forgot already, but that's a lot of fiddle farting around, and I'm just not about that. So it works fine, just gotta shut the fuel off. It's just a little extra step, but it ain't gonna kill nobody. So but anyway, so hopefully if anything, maybe in the near future we'll consider ripping this engine apart, and we'll maybe do a slight rebuild on it. If the rod bearing, if it's got bearings, or if the rod's bad, as long as the crank is good, whatever this engine might need, it might get. It depends on what the cost is for the replacement. And I would have liked to have had a water-cooled unit, because I don't like running this thing on a 95-degree day in the blaring sun, mowing up and down hills and yard and whatever, and I just feel bad for it trying to be air cooled. Like, that's got to be just excruciatingly hot on a hot day. So, but we're gonna get stuff cleaned up, get oil drained, do an oil change. I just figured I'd show you what it was doing, and that was this kind of a mild case of it. I mean, the very first time I fired it up during the winter time, it oh my gosh, I mean, it cranked for about a minute and a half before something finally fired. I get backfired and then proceeded to start to fire, and when it did, it was just massive, copious, just plumes of smoke. Almost couldn't see through it. It was pathetic. I was like, why are we all of a sudden filling the cylinder full of oil? That's great. I love that. So anyway, like I said, we're gonna get this thing all dolled up and to an extent, and get her done up, and yeah. So hope you guys enjoy the little startup, and I'm gonna put some of this oil stabilizer in there because it stops thermal breakdown apparently. And I've used it in the car because the car's got a little bit of a tapping noise that apparently is kind of common with this generation North Star, the LH2. It sounds like almost like a lifter noise. It's not a rod knock. It's not anything like that. It just sounds like a lifter is sticking or something like that. So I put some of this in there, and I put the recommended amount, 20%, 1 quart for every 4 quarts. Well, this is a quart, so this I think the engine takes 1.9 quarts. So I'm going to put half of this in there, and then a whole quart and a half or so, and that should do it. So hopefully that'll keep our engine a little bit quieter. If an in badly, use up to 60% capacity. Oh, I don't know if this is a badly worn. I guess we'll try the 20% and see if that quiets that tapping down. And if not, then we'll drain a little bit out and put more of this in. So, but alrighty, hope you guys enjoyed. I know you guys are just gonna hate me for this. We're not using Kawasaki or John Deere filters, oil, and well, I suppose now I'm kind of into it for what I'd pay for a kit over at John Deere, because I think the last time I bought an oil change kit for this, it was $50-some. I was like, holy shit. For a little lawnmower with a puny little filter and a couple quarts of oil, that's just insane. And I didn't even get an air filter either. I really need to do that. But, oh my gosh, that was never again is what I'm saying. So, oil to me is oil. I like Mobil 1 synthetic, and it's high mile because it's been obviously consuming oil sitting there doing nothing, and letting it get past the rings, and maybe we can help keep things a little more fresh. I don't know. I'm just using a heavier weight, and we're using some thick stuff to hopefully keep that tapping down, keep any of the further wearing from happening. So that's the hope, and we're gonna just do what we can. So like I said, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. God bless. Okay, so we just did an oil change. Put some Lucas heavy duty oil stabilizer in it, and you can hear that tapping noise. It almost sounds like it's a valve or a lifter, because it sounds like it's deep in the engine, but it kind of sounds like it's up here, not down here. So it sounds like it's more of a lifter, push rod type of thing going on. So I don't know what would have caused it to do that. I don't know what else inside this engine is overhead valve, but I don't know what all, you know, if it's got push, I'm sure it's got push rods, but it sounds like it's on the other side. So, but I don't know if it's got lifters or if it just rides on the cam or what. 1040 oil and 1040 oil, heavy duty oil stabilizer, still making noise. So curious as to what that might be. One of these days I'll have to pull that valve cover off and make sure the valve's in adjustment. I've been meaning to do that. Then you got to get a new gasket, and I haven't done that. But I don't know, something like push rod-ish riding on the cam or something. Just sounds like it's deep in the engine but up front. So curious. One of these days I'll get to fixing that. So just thought I'd include that in the video. Thanks for watching. God bless.